So in the previous class, we were discussing class B amplifier. Okay, we were discussing class B amplifier, and under class B amplifier, we have two categories. Okay, class B push-pull amplifier, and another is class B complementary symmetry amplifier. Okay, right? And we have seen that for class B push-pull amplifier, okay, what happens is we have two transistors T1, T2, okay, and the signals at the base of each transistor are such that, okay, the signal at the base of T1, okay, when we consider, compared to that, the signal at base of T2 is inverted. Means when we have a positive half cycle at the base of T1, okay, we have a negative half cycle at the base of T2. Okay. Then when we have a negative half cycle at the base of T1, we have a positive half cycle at the base of T2. Okay. Means when the overall input, that is at the primary of the transformer, is positive, what happens? We have a positive half cycle at base of T1 and negative half cycle at base of T2. If we see the emitter arrows, both are outward. Okay. So this is arrow is from P to N. So this is N, this is P, and obviously this will be N. So this is NPN transistor, and also T2 is NPN transistor, right? So both the transistors are NPN, emitter base collector. So both the base of the transistor are P regions. Okay, so base P region, again base of second transistor P region. So what happens here is when input is positive, we are giving a positive supply to the base of T1. So T1 will conduct, whereas the base of T2, okay, during the first half cycle, we have negative at P side. So T2 will not conduct, T2 will be off. Okay, so the signal will pass like this. Then during the second half cycle, okay, during the second half cycle, the base of T1 is negative, so T1 is off. Okay, then the base of T2 is positive, so T2 is on. Okay, so for the second half cycle, T2 will conduct. Okay, so the signal will flow like this. So what happens during the positive half cycle? Okay, or let me select this. During the first half cycle, in this case, T1 will conduct and T2 will be off. So the signal flow will be in this path. During the second half cycle, T2 will be off. T1 will be off. During the second half cycle, T1 will be off and T2 will conduct. Okay, right? So the signal flow will be like this, right? So we have understood the functionality of this class B push-pull amplifier, right? So what we are doing here is we are inverting the signal, okay, so that each transistor conducts for, okay, one half cycle, right? Instead of inverting the signal, why don't we use, okay, a inverted or a different transistor itself? Okay, why don't we use a transistor, okay, which functions opposite to that of T1? See here what we are doing, we are generating a signal B which is opposite to signal A. The signal B at point B is negative of the signal at point A. Okay, So to get that, we are using the center tap transformer at the input side. And of course, the center tap transformer at the output side to combine both the conduction signals from T1 and T2. Okay, right? So instead of inverting the signals, why don't we use a transistor which behaves, see, instead of inverting signal, okay, as I told you, the signal at B is inverted version of signal at A. Instead of doing that, why don't we select a transistor T2 which functions in a manner opposite to that of T1, okay? And based on that idea, we have the second category of class B amplifier, okay, which is the complementary symmetry class B amplifier, okay, right? So what we are doing, the main advantage is we are avoiding the bulky center tap transformers, right? So what happens here? We are not inverting the signal. Instead, okay, instead we are selecting T2 which functions, okay, opposite to that of T1, right? So what do we mean by that? Q2 is PNP transistor. Okay, the arrow is inward. So this is P, this is N. Okay, arrow is inward. So what do we have here? The arrow is inward. So this is P, this is N. So obviously this is again P. PNP. So base is N. Likewise, this is already we discussed NPN. So the base is P. For Q1, base is P. For Q2, base is N. Okay. So now automatically, when one transistor is conducting, the other transistor will be off because we are giving a common signal to both the bases. Okay. So that is what we are seeing next. When we consider here, okay, the input as the positive half cycle, okay, when we consider the input positive half cycle, right? See, positive half cycle shown in blue color, negative half cycle missing, means we are considering only positive half cycle. Then what happens? The base of Q1 we discussed is P. So P side positive, Q1 will conduct. So the signal flow will be from the source in this path, okay, to the load, right? Then when Q1 is conducting, what is the situation for Q2? PNP transistor. So the N region we are applying positive signal, so Q2 will be off. Okay, Q2 will be off as mentioned here. So this, okay, signal will not flow through Q2, right? So during positive half cycle, the signal will flow through Q1, right? Then let us see what happens for negative half cycle. During negative half cycle, see here, positive represented by dotted means no positive. We are only considering the negative half cycle. Okay, we are only considering the negative half cycle. So what happens here is during the negative half cycle, we are now only seeing negative half cycle. Negative signal here. This base positive, this place negative. Okay, base. So negative signal, this is positive. At positive base, we are applying negative signal. So this Q1 will be off. Next, negative signal. Okay. But at PNP, so base is negative, right? So negative at negative, Q2 will be conducting. So the signal flow will be like this because Q2 is conducting and Q1 is on, right? So we will have, okay, we will have the signal flow for both positive and negative half cycles, right? But what happens for positive half cycle, Q1 will conduct, for negative half cycle, Q2 will be conducting, okay? Now, so all this we have seen, right? I am explaining again so that it becomes very easy for all of you, right? And also we have seen, that, okay, what happens, okay, we are operating here at the cutoff, right? This is only for transistor T1. This particular graph is only for transistor T1, right? We are operating here, and during positive half cycle, okay, during positive half cycle, we discussed that Q1 will conduct, right? So actually what happens during positive half cycle, the IB at the base of the transistor, this due to the V in sinusoidal positive half cycle, the base current will be positive half cycle, okay? So when the base current is positive half cycle, IC is equal to beta IB, you know, okay? So IC will have positive half cycle but amplified. IC is increasing. IC is increasing means we are moving into the active region, okay? Not only the transistor, okay, we are talking about conducting, because in the active region it will give amplification, okay, right? So that is the reason during positive half cycle, okay, or during the first half cycle, Q1 will conduct and amplify, okay, right? Q1 will conduct and amplify the first half cycle, whereas Q2 is off. For second half cycle, Q1 will be off, Q2 will conduct and amplify. And in this manner, both the, okay, positive and negative half cycles are amplified. Okay, right? This is class B amplifier. Class B, remember, we are operating at cutoff. Okay, operating at cutoff means there is only place for one half cycle. Negative half cycle, you are going beyond cutoff. It doesn't amplify. Okay, so only one half cycle it can amplify, but we are using either, okay, we are using two transistors, so that each transistor will amplify for one half cycle, and we are getting the total two half cycles. Okay, so this graph explanation is for T1. Again, I'm repeating, this is only for transistor T1. Okay, it is sufficient. Similarly, okay, right, you can explain for T2, but not required. T1 is sufficient. So this is common for both complementary, symmetry, class B amplifier, as well as the class B push-pull amplifier. Okay, complementary, symmetry, class B amplifier, as well as class B push-pull amplifier. This graph is common. Okay, so the explanation of circuit is different. Graph is common, derivation is common, right? The derivation is common. So that is what we will be discussing next. Any doubts so far, students? See, what all this we discussed in the previous class, right? So to make it very easy for you, I have repeated again. Any doubts so far? Students, is it clear? Shall we go ahead with the derivation? Any doubts? Please answer.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So next we will see the mathematical part. Here, okay. So what happens? What happens during one half cycle? Okay. what happens during one half cycle. Now, as I told you, the explanation is same, right? Whether it is this one or the previous circuit, okay? Whether it is the right class B push-pull amplifier or complementary symmetry class B amplifier. Any of these amplifiers, what is happening? Positive half cycle, that is first half cycle, Q1 is conducting, Q2 is off. Second half cycle, Q1 is off, Q2 is conducting, right? So the same mathematical analysis is valid. Okay. So for both the circuits, what is happening during positive half cycle? Q1 is conducting. Okay. So the output we have is, see here, input although we give full, okay, that is positive as well as negative half cycle, Q1 will conduct only for positive half cycle. Okay. Q1 will conduct only for positive half cycle, right? So, what is the average value of what do you say, half? See, this is like, if you observe, Q1 is acting as, okay, it is only passing half wave, right? Q1 is only passing a half wave. So it is actually acting as a half wave Q1 only. I'm talking about Q1 only, okay? Q1 is acting as half wave rectifier but amplified version, right? So what is the average value of a half wave rectified signal? Half wave rectifier, full wave rectifier, have you studied? Yes, students. Half wave rectifier, full wave rectifier, have we studied?
Yes.
Okay. So what is the average value of a half wave rectified signal? Okay, you can, I think you have studied that in EDC, right? So what happens is the average value of a half wave rectified signal is the, okay, amplitude divided by pi. Okay, amplitude so far we are considering it as Im, right? So it is Im by pi. What is Im? Im is from only the height of one half cycle. Im is the height of only one half cycle. So from this point to this point, okay, that is Im, right? We have seen this already in the same for Im, class A, direct coupled, okay, transformer coupled. We know what is Im. Im is the height of one half cycle, right? So the average, okay, the average value of a half wave rectified signal with, okay, with the, okay, with the height of the one half cycle Im is Im by pi. Okay. Now here what happens is two transistors. Okay, we have two transistors and we discussed that for each half cycle one transistor conducts. So one transistor contributes for, okay, one half cycle, another transistor contributes for another half cycle. Okay, right? So now the current, okay, the, okay, current, so far we have discussed the average value of one half wave is Im by pi. Okay, right? Transistor, considering only Q1, Q1 conducts for one half cycle, and for that the average value